as described by some Muslim scholars, that the analogy of Islamic culture is like pure water. As it passes through different terrains, the nature of the terrain is seen through the water, although the water remains. As such, there are several different unique customs of Islamic culture on the African continent. In this episode, we shed light on some of the African customs and traditions that are observed during the month of Ramadan. Cameroon is made up of about 250 tribes, with a Muslim population of 45%. In Cameroon, Muslims and non-Muslims normally gather together for iftar, and masjids are always open, and community centers and churches welcome Muslims at iftar times. In the month of Ramadan, similar to some Arab countries, everyone awaits the sighting of the moon, which marks the first day of Ramadan. When the moon is sighted, Tarawih prayers are performed in all mosques throughout the country. The usual characteristic of the Cameroonian people is that everybody opens their door throughout the month without closing the gates of their house, and they're always ready to receive the one who is fasting. So people normally can enter anyone's house in the community where foods such as soups, meat, chicken, grills, fruits, fried banana or fried plantain, and French bread are served. Although dates is used in Ramadan, the Cameroonian people normally prefer meat. Some of the Cameroonian young people have copied the tradition of beating drums to awake people for sahur. One of the most important traditions of the people of Cameroon is exchanging gifts between spouses and engaged couple when Ramadan is announced or started, and children come out with drums to let people know that the month has started. Children in Cameroon celebrate the month of fasting in the middle, not at the beginning, by wearing traditional clothes, strolling around houses, collecting sweets and cash, and then cheering for the announcement of Laylatul Qadr, the esteemed night, as well as launching fireworks to celebrate Ramadan. Sudan has a beautiful Ramadan custom which is especially great and beneficial for the poor and needy. Of the 37.96 million people in Sudan, 97% follow Islam. And during the holy month of Ramadan, people in neighborhoods, men and boys only, gather in the streets and sit on long mats or put up tents of food. They wait for passerbys to come and make sure all motorists and drivers stop, dismount, and end their fast with the men in the tents. The tents can be big or small. The men bring food from their homes and share with their fellow Ramadan observers. It is customary to stop cars and invite people to share their food. This is visible in other places in the state of Gazira, on the Khartoum Madani National Road that links Khartoum and Gazira. At times, barriers are placed in the middle of the road to stop traffic before sunset. At other times, young boys run and stop traffic. A Ramadan image specific to Sudan is of long lines of men sitting in the streets in white kandures under neem trees, waiting for the sun to set and for the cannons to announce iftar. Women stay in and prepare the food. They exchange meals with other neighborhood women. Often a nice fish stew from one house will be exchanged with chicken from a house in the same lane. Ramadan in Sudan is like a family gathering with lots of socializing and going to the masjid or mosque. Some Ramadan specific foods are asida, a porridge made from sorghum, gurasa made of wheat flour, and salad. A special Ramadan drink prepared from sorghum and different spices is called hilumir or sweet bitter. It's often added to hot dishes or served with a side sauce to add texture and flavor to the main dishes. Hibiscus and lemon juices is the drink that is normally served, and also aradeb and tabaldi, both bitter acacia fruits. Other popular iftar dishes are balila, boiled chickpeas of red beans with salad, keema of okra powder, and sambusek. Besides the Arab usuals, fried chicken, fried fish, hummus salad, fool and falafel with olive oil and cheese. Tanzania is a beautiful country found in the eastern part of Africa. According to MuslimPopulation.com, Tanzania has a Muslim population of about 55%. Muslims in Tanzania live in freedom of religion and practicing of religious rituals and have their own customs and traditions. In the middle of the month of Shaban, before the month of Ramadan, Muslims begin to prepare for the month of Ramadan by decorating masajids or mosques, streets, and shops with lamps and light, as well as starting family visits in preparation for the holy month. Tanzanians are very interested in fasting during Ramadan. The age at which fasting normally starts for young kids is around 12 years old. Restaurants owned by Tanzanian Muslims are normally closed during the day and open after iftar. Before the azan or call to prayer of Maghrib, which marks the breaking of the fast, some mosques announce the time of iftar by beating some drums, and then people head to their homes. Ramadan meals in Tanzania includes dates with which they start their iftar with, alongside with sweetened water and coconut flavored rice with vegetables and fish, normally accompanied with drinks such as tea with vanilla and tropical fruit juices. In Senegal, the month of Ramadan is considered a moment of grace, forgiveness, and especially sharing. Everyone multiplies gestures of kindness towards their fellows, hoping to have reward from Allah. And this occurs between Muslims and also between Muslims and non-Muslims. One of the guiding principles in this sacred month in Senegal is sharing and solidarity, especially when Ndogu, a kind of community dinner, are organized in neighborhoods of Dakar and suburbs by young volunteers. These young men and women are mobilized for the Ndogu solidarity. They collect donations and money from people to be able to serve coffee or milk and bread and dates each evening to people for free. It has been so successful that they are sponsored by major companies in the country now. In Ramadan, normally after the late afternoon prayer, Asr, young people carry their Qur'ans to different masajids or different mosques to attend tafsir sessions. In these tafsir sessions, the teachers normally cover most of the Quran, starting from the first chapter. This has been a tradition in the Senegambia area for centuries. In Eritrea, Muslims prepare to receive the month of Ramadan 2 or 3 weeks before it arrives, as various dishes and appetizers are prepared, especially red sauce paste consisting of hot red peppers, in addition to special types of spices that is known in the local language as aldalk, and distributed to neighbors. During the nights of Ramadan, there are sections called Samara, including sections for women and girls only. Eritreans have a post-breakfast rite where tea and coffee, which is prepared with grilled ginger and cardamom, are placed in a special jar called gabna, made of pottery. A special table is prepared with carbs, sugar, and a bucho, incense, which are a main tradition. Next to it, hambasha, a bread made of flour, sugar, yeast, and margarine, is served. Families gather together around the table and have their coffee and tea in 3 different stages. The first is called a cup, the second is called a baraka or blessing, and the third is called khadr. In the capital, Muslims bring food to the mosques every Friday and Monday, and festivals are held in the last 10 days of Ramadan. In Kenya, when the start of Ramadan is announced, cities with a Muslim majority are decorated with colored fabrics, and the occasion is celebrated in a festive atmosphere. Muslims walk around exchanging congratulations and beating drums. Also, before sahur, they beat drums to wake fasting Muslims up and sing Islamic songs, which urge everyone to fast. Sometimes they will gather in the mosque for a group iftar, and everyone will share their food together. In Kenya, people have sweet foods to overcome thirst. They eat traditional foods like cooked rice with coconut, and it is usually served with fish or chicken. Sokoma are served as appetizers. They are cooked cabbage with tomatoes and onions. Usually, these meals are served with Kenyan tea, and before Fajr, everyone gathers in mosques bringing tropical fruits, fruit juices, water bottles, and other beverages to prepare for the fasting day and share it among the people in the mosque. In Kenya, they create a beautiful atmosphere for fasting, so it is easy for people who are not enthused to fast to join the tradition of fasting. Djibouti is an Islamic country located in the Horn of Africa, and most of its inhabitants are of Arab descent, such as Omanis, Yemenis, and is also inhabited by a large number of African tribes. The most important custom in Djibouti includes married women only wearing the so-called shield, which is the country's traditional costume, which women normally wear on feast and holiday nights. The men wear the makawi, which resemble the Indian sari. Men wear it around their their waist to welcome the holy month of Ramadan. A strange Ramadan habit there is that the people of Djibouti stop eating fish throughout the month of Ramadan because it is believed that fish causes thirst during fasting. Near the end of the month of Ramadan, especially on the 27th day, people go out from mosques chanting, jubilating, and saying goodbye to Ramadan. Muslims break their fast normally in Djibouti with sambusa, hatis, tharid, and lamb meat, accompanied with sweets such as mokhbasa, which is very famous in Djibouti. They also take tea with cinnamon sticks and fruit juices.